What's going on, Panthers Nation? It's Aaron Duncan here, back again with another video brought to you by Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. And the NFL Combine is behind us. The draft process is cranking up. You know what I'm saying? Pro days and stuff are coming up, but there was a lot of news and updates that came out of the Combine. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, GMs and coaches and sometimes owners get some words out. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of meetings going on behind the scenes and rumors about prospects. So we're going to unpack everything that happened in regards to the Carolina Panthers in this video. And we're starting right now. What's going on, everybody? My name is Aaron Duncan once again, and I start off every video by saying, what up, dude? And here on Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk, I give recap and analysis of the NFL and the Carolina Panthers. So if you want to see more videos about everything, especially that's going on in this crazy offseason, hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon. The bell icon is going to make sure you get notifications every time I drop a video. So stay in the loop with everything. Hit that notification button for all, and make sure you don't miss a video. And also give the video a thumbs up, please. It really helps me out in the algorithm. But the NFL Combine, like I said, there was a lot of news and headlines that came out. Rhule did not show his face to the public media. He did do some behind-the-scenes pressers. We didn't see David Tepper at all. But Scott Fitterer did do some press conferences, and we got some rumors that came out. So the first thing I want to talk about that came out that was of note was Taylor Moton restructuring his contract. We know Taylor Moton signed that big boy contract last year after being franchise tagged, ended up being one of the higher paid right tackles in the league. And immediately the following year, the team restructured his deal to convert some of that base salary into signing bonus. And the thought process behind this, because it creates cap space, $11 million to be exact. And they projected us to be about $26 million in cap space right now. And so this helps kind of those big salary guys that you know is going to be around. It kicks some of that money down the line, gives them a quicker paycheck. It's a pretty good sacrifice, I guess, for the player, but it's pretty much the team can allocate some of that money. Now, I'm going to be looking for some other players to do the same thing. Christian McCaffrey is a guy that you can restructure. It seems like they're pretty committed to him being around. They're going to be on the hook for some of that money anyway. Do you convert part of his salary to signing bonus or whatever to be able to create more space? They did it last year. Maybe they can do it again. And then that brings us to our next point, which would be another move to possibly create some cap space. Robbie Anderson. There were rumors that emerged that there have been low-key talks between the Patriots and the Panthers about a trade for Robbie Anderson. Now, a lot of people are all for this. We just gave Robbie Anderson that extension. I think he had a low-key holdout because he missed those spring and summer workouts. He didn't really go out in the media, say he wanted the contract, but he didn't really show up to the team workouts until he got a contract. I think Rhule might have rewarded him just because he's a former Temple player, but his production dropped by 50% after signing that deal. He was a 1,000-yard receiver just last year, which was the cause for him to even get that contract. But now, for on the hook for $12 million, and it's looking like it wasn't worth it. So to be able to move him to the Patriots to get that salary off the books and possibly get a draft pick in return, that would be pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be a good chunk of money. I'm not exactly showing the exact numbers and how much we would have to pay him if we traded him, but being able to get Robbie out of there, giving a chance for Terrace Marshall Jr. to really step into that number 2 wide receiver role, it would be good for me. You know what I'm saying? I would pretty much like that because we spent a second-round pick on Terrace. He's got a good pedigree. I mean, obviously he needs to stay healthy. His preseason last year was amazing, and his training camp was amazing, but it never really translated to the field. A lot of it can be a victim of circumstances with the quarterback, obviously, but we need to get a return on our investment of the second-round pick in Terrace Marshall Jr. The potential is there, in my opinion. Why not give him the opportunity by making him your bona fide number 2, and that can allow other guys behind them, or you can upgrade in the draft. This draft seems to be pretty deep with wide receiver talent. If you need to take some late wide receivers, you can do that. But don't forget, you got guys like Brandon Zylstra and Shi Smith on the roster that can really make plays. So it gives them more opportunity as well. Being able to get a 4th or 5th round pick maybe for Robbie and getting that salary off the books while allowing our young guns to be able to step into a new role, I mean, it does sound like a win-win for me, man. And I love Robbie. I like the fight and the dog and the competitive spirit he has, but it's a business at the end of the day, and you got to do what you got to do. But as I mentioned before, leading into the video, that Scott Fitterer had his press conference where he talked to the national media per se at the Combine, and there were a lot of different hot topics. The biggest topic that he talked about probably was that when it comes to Hassan Reddick, they weren't going to franchise tag him. They were going to allow him to test the market. They felt like after back-to-back double-digit sack years, they owed it to him, I guess, to give them the opportunity to see what's out there. Hassan has really put it out there that he would like to come back to Carolina, but I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, it is a business, and the Panthers don't have a ton of cap space to go around. They have to get very creative in order to make some of this stuff work, and it just seems crazy. But Hassan, maybe he'll give us the inside track when it comes to maybe a hometown discount because he's comfortable with Snow, comfortable with Rhule, had his best year of his career with under that system, playing with guys that know him from college. Hopefully, maybe they'll give them an inside track of being able to have an advantage with him, even though he tests the market. But if it comes to a bidding war, the Carolina Panthers are going to lose 9 times out of 10 to most teams in this league because there's many teams in this league that have the cap space, and everybody's looking for a pass rusher. So the prospects of bringing Hassan Reddick do not look good. But at the same time, they did re-sign Frankie Louvu earlier this offseason to a cheap deal. Frankie Louvu, he has some versatility to play inside linebacker. He can play on the edge at that. He may not be the pass rusher, but he had an opportunity to start on the edge in that Saints game at the end of the year and had a very quality game. I broke down film on that, obviously, so check it on my channel for Louvu. But he's cheap. He plays hard. He's the heart and soul of this team. He plays special teams. Louvu may get a chance to replace Hassan Reddick. He could be the contingency plan. Lo and behold, if things shake out the way they could shake out at the top of the draft with the elite tackles being gone before they get to us, if the Panthers don't trade back, I would not be opposed to taking one of the top D ends if they're still there, whether it's Aiden Hutchinson or Thibodeau, who's kind of gotten beat up over the course of the combine because they think of it, he's questioning his motor and his motivation because he didn't want to compete at the combine. Regardless, if a guy like that type of talent falls to the Panthers at 6, you almost can't pass up on it for the sake of need. Yes, you have bigger needs, but you don't pass up on potentially elite talent just because you have a particular need. So that's something that people aren't really talking about. But as far as having that edge down pat, if we got to get a guy like Thibodeau that comes down to us, don't be surprised if the Panthers stay put and take that guy as the best player available. Now, moving on, talking about Stephon Gilmore. This is a whole different episode because we never really, before leading up to this thing, Stephon Gilmore, his wife, had some real cryptic tweets, like people like to say, hey, saying cryptic, that word sounds weird to me. But they had some cryptic tweets basically saying that, oh, this is the new normal, or this is just business as usual, or things are whatever. And that gave me the sense that maybe they got a low ball offer, or maybe the narrative that they gave Stephon before he got traded is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because when they traded him for that 6th-round pick from the Patriots, they told me, and Scott Fitterer told us in the media that they promised him that they would discuss contracts at the end of the year. And it seems like his wife wants to stay in the area because she's from Charlotte. Stephon's from the Carolinas, obviously from the Rock Hill area. They'll be moving to headquarters there. So I can imagine he wants to stay in this area too, near family and friends. He said he was a Panthers fan. He's got that ring, so he may just be looking for a decent amount of money and a place where he can compete and just be where he's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Once you get older, stuff starts to be more about family and stuff like that. Like I said, he's got the ring with the Patriots. He's got the accolades. Now he wants to get some money and be comfortable with his family. And if the Panthers can't really offer that, it is what it is. There's a lot of cornerback needy teams out there like the 49ers or the Chargers that may make a push for him to have more capital. Like I said, when it comes to a bidding war, the Panthers will probably not stand a chance against most teams in these leagues. So it is going to be tough. But the cornerback position, we do have some depth, obviously, and I'm not really just looking at what we have. I would be pretty comfortable having J.C. Horn, C.J. Henderson, Keith Taylor, and A.J. Bouye. Now, there is some speculation that Dante Jackson could be on the way back, and that may be why they're prioritizing him over Stephon Gilmore. So we'll see how things shake out from that standpoint, because I think Dante may be a little bit cheaper and younger and healthier. And even though that seems weird because Dante does get hurt a lot, but there's some questions about Stephon Gilmore's health and how much money you should actually pay him. I'm thinking the issue may be guaranteed money because they may be willing to pay him money, but if it ain't guaranteed, Stephon may not want to budge because he knows that he's up in age, so injuries can happen and anything can happen. You never know. So players always want that guaranteed money. And there was another off-the-record press conference that Scott Fitterer had with the local news network, Queen City News, that he pretty much kind of spilled the beans, seeing that tackle and quarterback were kind of the play at number 6. Now, like I said, I won't be opposed to them taking a guy like Thibodeau if he falls to them, but he pretty much kind of spilled the beans without spilling the beans, saying that tackle or quarterback would be the option depending on who it is. Now, the rumors came out from John Clayton that says that Dave Tepper loves Kenny Pickett. But that's the thing. We haven't heard much from David Tepper, so how much stock can we put into that? Everybody likes Malik Willis because of the upside that he may have, just based on the strong arm, the raw talent, the ability to run, and things like that. Kenny Pickett, the speculation about the small hands, the gloves, stuff like that. But we know the background he has with Matt Rhule. But obviously tackle. Like I said, if Neal or Icky are gone by then, who knows? I hope the Panthers don't reach, because a guy like Cross, he's in an air raid offense, and if they're trying to be a downhill running team like McAdoo and Matt Rhule has said, that doesn't really match up when it comes to scheme fit. So we will see what happens. Maybe they trade back and try to get a guy like that. Who knows? But it seems like he's built the beans that tackle or quarterback will be those guys, and he hasn't been shy about saying those two positions are priority. So don't be surprised if Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis ends up being the guy, because I do think those two tackle prospects who are elite will be gone by the time they get to the Panthers, unfortunately, just because I think their stock has just continued to climb ever since the Senior Bowl and the Combine. So we'll see how those things shake out. And last but not least, it's not really super football related, but David Tepper. This man has been MIA pretty much all offseason. Last year, at least he did interviews, and then he wrote like a note or whatever talking about that Panthers fans, please be patient and keep giving me your money. I know we suck right now, something like that. But we haven't heard much from him this offseason. He had a lot to say. We've heard a lot of rumors about what he wants, what he likes, and all this and that and the third, but we haven't really heard from the billion-dollar man, the richest owner in the league. But we did see an appearance from him this weekend as the Charlotte FC. Yes, the soccer team, the newest team in town. Charlotte had a game at Bank of America Stadium. And not only was he at the game, he was at the pep rally getting fans hyping him up, talking. And then it was just almost sad to see because Bank of America was completely packed. Almost 75,000 fans were in Bank of America Stadium for that night soccer match. Apparently the atmosphere has been comparable to how loud it was for the NFC Championship game. And it's just really depressing that we can't get this type of enthusiasm brokered into the Panthers because just the lack of aggression when it comes to a sense of urgency of being a competitor. We have a guy like Matt Rhule and they keep preaching patience, but it's sickening. We haven't really heard anything at all. We haven't heard anything to make the fans feel better. The morale for this fan base is super low. Matt Rhule has not given us anything to be happy about. They keep trying to kick the tires on these reclamation projects at quarterback. We don't even have a young quarterback to be excited about. So it's really hard. But to see David Tepper almost treat the Panthers like a stepchild, and for the Panthers fans that are not really soccer fans, I guess, it's almost like a slap in the face. And it's like, what are we really doing here, David Tepper? So it's unfortunate, but it kind of is what it is. It doesn't seem he has any major concerns about the Panthers at this point. You know, it just seems like the Panthers were just something to do. And now he's brought soccer to Charlotte. He's putting his attention to developing that team there. So we'll see what happens going forward, but sad day, man. But you guys let me know down below in the comments, what do you think caught your mind the most about what came out of Combine weekend? And did I miss any kind of topics or points that were discussed? And let me know how you guys are feeling about some of these prospects coming out. Let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off. I'll see you next time. Peace.